Okay, we're recording. Welcome back. We are halfway through the week. We are at day 3 of the Client Acquisition System Workshop. I hope you guys have been getting a ton of value so far. Today is a very important day because we'll be talking about where do you find these ideal client avatars? Where do you find your prospects? Right? We've been talking a lot about prospects, and the question is, where do you find them? So I want to welcome you back to session 3. I am Betty Kempa. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. The participation in the last 2 sessions has been truly awesome. I will tell you that seeing the passion, the energy, the excitement, I've been connecting with some of you offline in between our sessions. It's been truly inspiring. And honestly, you guys are what motivates me, right? This is part of my mission, is making sure that, people who are in a corporate job or a full-time gig and they've got that calling to coach, that servant heart, right? This is more than a job. This is, put into the chat, how many of you feel that, and it's okay if you don't, but how many of you feel that this is your calling, that this is deeper than, yeah, I see some hands raised. If you feel like this is your calling, yeah, Meredith, Darren, Trisha, yeah, Michael, Peter, yeah. This is why I love to do what I do. This is more than just a job. This is our calling. We were meant to serve and to show up and to coach people and to coach people and show them that they have more in them than they even believed themselves. So it's a very special thing being a coach, and it's so important, to me, that I'm looking at these very skilled coaches. I've been talking to for some very skilled coaches. It's important to me from a business coaching standpoint that I get you guys out there, get you guys the visibility, get you guys out there as thought leaders so that we are positioning you to attract the right clients to you. Because at the end of the day, each of you with your own special skills and your coaching expertise, your potential clients are out there waiting for you. They're literally out there waiting for you. They may be praying for you. They may be meditating and envisioning this version of who you are that will come coach them to achieving their goal and getting over that urgent problem, but they don't know where to find you, right? So part of our job is to make sure that you learn how to show up and where to find these guys so that you can coach them through achieving their dreams and goals. So really important stuff. As you join tonight, again, pop into the chat. Let us know what you think of the workshop so far. What's the most valuable thing you've gotten out of the workshop so far? Would love to hear. As a reminder, be sure you've got your handy dandy trusty workbook. We will, as always, be filling this baby out as we go tonight. If you don't have a workbook, please go ahead and put workbook in the chat. Put workbook in the chat, and Tabitha will drop a link to the workbook so that you have it with you and you can fill out the workbook as we go here. All right. Thank you so much for gifting us with your time. For those of you, some of you, maybe this is your first session today, and that's okay too. You might be catching up on replays from sessions 1 and 2. My name is Betty Kempa, business coach consultant, as I like to call myself for coaches. I'm a 3-time member of the Forbes Coaches Council, IPEC graduate, ranked one of the top coaches in Denver and again in Tampa by Influence Digest, and recently listed as one of the top 10 business coaches to follow by Life Coach Magazine. And last but not least, my mission and my purpose and my proudest moment is being the founder of the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy, where I help corporate renegades ditch the 9-to-5 and repackage their genius, which, to Wayne's point, Wayne says I was coaching before I even knew what coaching was, and Meredith says same here, right? So my whole goal here is to repackage your genius that's already within you. It's already there, into this beautiful coaching business, right? I'm going to pull it out of you and we're going to repackage it into this coaching business that replaces and or exceeds your corporate income, right? So that's a sweet spot, right? We're going to replace the corporate income and we're going to build out this coaching business that you feel very passionate about, right? We're going to do both. As a quick reminder, I'll be teaching live on Zoom every night this week, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, for about an hour or so each night, give or take. give or take. I am running 2 additional bonus sessions that you don't want to miss. So make sure you mark your calendars for not only this week, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Next week, we're having 2 bonus sessions. Monday, March 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be rapid fire Q&A. So that'll be hot seat coaching with me. So anybody who's posted in the Facebook group or has questions, Tabitha is gathering all of those up. And I'm going to be doing rapid fire hot seat coaching on that call. That literally, that's the whole call. I'm coming and I'm, going through. And even if you don't have a question or a hot seat, join because you will learn from other people's questions. Our final bonus session will be Tuesday of next week, March 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be doing this overview that will be very helpful for you guys in taking what you've learned during the workshop and understanding what comes next. So I'll be teaching you the 5 mistakes that coaches make that prevent them from replacing their corporate income with a coaching business. There are 5 potential pitfalls, and I've been talking to a lot of you, connecting to you guys in between these calls. And we've been kind of touching on some of these things. You guys will, as I go through these 5 mistakes next Tuesday, you'll be thinking to yourself, ooh, this is where I'm at right now. I want to be careful of this one. And it'll be a super helpful overview for you to continue on with next steps. Really important, all the videos and training will come down Tuesday of next week. So Tuesday of next week is the last day of our workshop. That also means all the replays, all the videos, all the training material will be pulled down Tuesday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Okay, that's on purpose because we want this to be like a boot camp where you are implementing what you learn, right? You ever notice when you have something forever, you ever buy anybody, and by the way, I've done this too, so no shame. Anybody ever buy a digital course or a program and you're like, yeah, I bought this thing, looks so great. And then you set it aside and you don't finish it. Maybe you barely even start it, right? Anybody ever do that? I'll be totally honest. Yeah, Melissa's like, yep, I've done it, right? It's shiny object syndrome, right? Something looks really good. So the idea here, and with everything I do, is that, and some of you guys will hear me say this again and again, we can give you the best business blueprint in the world, right? But we got to hold you accountable to implementing or it will never come to fruition. So that's why we pull them down on Tuesday so you can get through the content by then and implement. Karen says, never, with the angel emoji. Never. Yes, never have I ever. All right. Well, let's get into it here. What else do I want to tell you real quick? Going to announce another gift card winner giveaway for tonight. This time I'm doing an Amazon gift card giveaway. Stay tuned for that. We'll be announcing that at the end of our session tonight. You have to be here to claim the gift. And again, throughout the week, we'll be doing all kinds of giveaways for different prizes. All you have to do to participate, you need to do 2 things to be in the running. Okay, we do a drawing each night. You have to be here live. And after each live session in the Facebook group, after each session in the Facebook group, there is a homework post. And the homework post will ask you a question. You have to answer that question. You have to answer that question. Okay, if you do those 2 things, you'll be in the running. All right, quick shout out before we get started to Tabitha Allman. Some of you may be interacting with her behind the scenes in the DMs. Shout out to Tabitha, who's behind the scenes running the workshop, doing all the stuff behind the scenes. As you know, for those of you who have been interacting with Tabitha, give her some love in the comments, give her some emojis, give her some love. She is she's a superstar. She's here to help you with anything you need during the workshop. And please don't forget that. Tabitha is here. If you have a question, you're like, ooh, I didn't get all the answers. I need a replay. I have a question. How does this apply to me? Whatever. Tabitha's your go-to gal. So please make sure you're DMing back and forth with her. Yes, Christina says, thanks, Tabitha, for keeping us running. Yes, all the love. All right, so let's get focused. Know that you will look back at this week as a turning point in your coaching business. and a catalyst to achieving your goals and dreams. And I say that with all seriousness because I've seen it. Okay. Know that this is that week. At this point, and I'm planting a seed here, you really have two choices, right? We can chase perfection. Oh, I can't move forward unless everything is perfect. I can't work with a client unless everything is perfect. Or we can chase purpose. Perfection or purpose. Okay, there's a choice to be made there. If you let go of perfection to chase purpose, you will open a floodgate of opportunities. And I want you to remember that, right? You are not serving the world nor your future clients by holding back because you're chasing perfectionism. Okay. So drop into the comments. Are you here to chase perfectionism or purpose? Let me hear it. Let's claim it. If you're with it, let's claim it. Drop it into the comments. Perfection or purpose? Meredith says purpose. Jamie, purpose. Christina, purpose. Kim, purpose. Yes, yes, yes. So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind as we continue through this workshop, right? No such thing as perfection. Amen to that, Melissa. Yeah. And no matter how far along you get, no matter how many years you've been doing this, right? Perfectionism is a thing that doesn't exist. Great call out. All right, tonight's topic. Let's, again, if you need the workbook, put workbook into the comments. Tabitha will go ahead. If you need a workbook, say workbook in the comments, and Tabitha will give you a link to the workbook. Today, you're going to turn to page six, and the topic is where to find your perfect prospects. Where to find your perfect prospects. Okay. We've been talking a lot about warm leads. We've been talking a lot about your inner circle. We've been talking a lot about ideal client avatars. Ideal client avatars. Okay. But the question is, where do you find them? Okay. Yesterday, on day 2, we talked about how ideal client avatar surveys are the #1 form of market research to get you clients. Again, if you didn't catch day 1 or day 2, just put into the chat which day you need a replay for. You can say day 1, day 2, or you can say both, and Tabitha will connect with you to make sure that you have the replay. Okay, so it's totally fine. If you need a replay, just drop it into the chat which day you need. Okay, good stuff. Tabitha will connect with y'all. Make sure you're checking your Facebook DMs, or make sure, I don't know if Tabitha's DMing you or tagging you on the replay, but check your Facebook DMs or check your Facebook. And iPhone, we're seeing you as iPhone. So iPhone, tell us who you are, iPhone. All right, good stuff. All right, so we talked about how ideal client avatar surveys are the #1 form of market research to get you clients. So what I want to talk about funnel-wise, let's see here if I can pull my whiteboard a little bit closer here. We'll bring it over this way. All right. Let's see how close can I bring it without toppling it over. So again, I want you to kind of have this funnel in your head. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. Ideal client avatar surveys. And I just call it an ICA survey. And that's when, as a reminder, you're talking to prospective clients, ideal client avatars, people who you think would make the perfect client. They're dealing with some type of a problem or a goal under your umbrella topic, whichever it is, leadership, health, relationship. So you're finding these ideal client avatars. You're running a survey with them. We talked about yesterday. Go watch the replay if you haven't caught it yet. The 4 different questions to ask during the survey. We talked about how at the end of that survey, you're going to say, hey, as a thank you for your time, I want to offer you a complimentary coaching call. Okay. So at the end, this is like a 20-minute conversation. And at the end of that conversation, you're going to say, hey, that was super insightful, very helpful. As a thank you, I want to offer you a complimentary coaching call. And you're going to customize it. You're going to say, you mentioned problems such as this, this, and this. Let's pick one of those and I'll run a complimentary coaching call for you on that topic, right? How does that sound? And then you're going to immediately schedule that before you get off the call. You're going to schedule this on a separate date immediately before you get off this call. We're going to later talk about Friday. I'm going to teach you how to take this complimentary coaching call, and at the end of the complimentary coaching call, to turn that person into a client. Has anybody ever run a complimentary coaching call before? And you run it and you think to yourself, man, this person would make a really good client for whatever reason. Like, there's something about either the energy or the type of problem they have, or they're very coachable, but you're not quite sure how to transition from a complimentary coaching call to the pitch. Anybody ever experienced that? Where you're running a complimentary coaching call? Not yet. Well, Friday, we're going to talk about, this is very important, this transition. Okay. I see too many coaches who get stuck here, which is, there's nothing bad with running complimentary coaching calls, but if this is a person, and not everybody that you run a call with, are you going to think this is my client? It depends on the person, right? But Friday, I'm going to teach you how to move them to client. So this is one of the funnels we're working through in this workshop. As a reminder, okay? Yesterday's action item, I told you guys, reach out to 3 to 5 ideal client avatars to schedule an ideal client avatar survey with them. And when I say an ideal client avatar survey, what I told you guys is, this isn't something you're going to send somebody over email. This is something you're going to do live, either on a phone call, on Zoom, in person. I don't care, but it's live. Okay. So yesterday's action item was reach out to at least 3 ideal client avatars. And, I gave you the script. For those of you who I've run calls with, by the way, I will be sending you the script on how you can actually ask people for booking these calls. Okay. So back to the workbook. Here's the deal. Your first clients, write this down. Very important. People forget this. Your first clients will likely be warm leads, otherwise known as people from your network. And if it's not people from your network, it's going to be an introduction from your network. So please be very clear on that. I think people really sometimes are falling over themselves when they're first starting their business, thinking, oh, I got to do all this cold outreach. That's later, when we build a sustainable system to consistently attract clients. In the beginning, your first handful of clients will likely be warm leads. They're people either from your network or they're an introduction from your network. Okay. Write this down, not cold leads. So that should be good news to you. Your first handful of clients are going to be either a warm lead or an introduction, a referral from a warm lead. Okay. And again, as I'm going through this, feel free to drop questions into the chat and I'll try to answer them live. If for some reason I don't, Tabitha is scooping them up and she'll be including those on the questions I answer on Monday for the rapid fire Q&A. So if I haven't gotten to your question, please know I will be covering all questions. Tabitha has a running list of everything you ask on Monday, but some of your questions I'm able to just answer right away. So anything, if I'm saying feels confusing or you have a question about how it, concerns you, please drop it into the chat. All right, let's next talk about what are warm leads? What are warm leads? So right here in the workbook, I want you to type, or I want you to write or to type, whatever you're doing, warm leads. Warm leads. What are warm leads? Anybody want to put into the chat, what do you think warm leads are? And we kind of touched on this. But I want you to drop it into the chat. What's your definition of a warm lead? Because there's lots of definitions of a warm lead. I mean, I'm going to give you mine, but when you think about a warm lead, what comes up for you? When you think about a warm lead, Jamie says friends, family, or someone that they may know. Yep. Michael, a partially qualified opportunity. Yep. Cindy, somebody you know, or who knows somebody you know. You got it. Meredith, people who know, like, and trust us. Yep. Yeah. So you guys are with it. Yeah. So when I say warm leads, same. I mean, you guys got it. Number one, a warm lead could be. So this is something I want you to think about as well. A warm lead could be somebody who already has something in common with you. Right? So when you think about all the different things that you're a part of in your life, a warm lead might be as simple as number one, they have something in common with you. We're going to talk about that more. Number two, a warm lead could be somebody who already knows, likes, and trusts you. They already know, like, and trust you. Or number three, a warm lead could be they come from an introduction or a referral. So we talked about your inner circle, and you're listing all these people in your inner circle. Your inner circle, your neighbor, your hairdresser, whoever, your cousin, it might not be them that's your ideal client avatar, but they may know somebody who is and make an introduction. Okay. Now, the sales funnel down here, to get a little bit more specific here with this sales funnel. Okay. Let's talk about this a little bit more specific. Under number one, I want you to write warm leads. The sales funnel. We're going to start with warm leads. Maybe I'll do this on the whiteboard. Okay. So you can kind of follow along with me here. Sales funnel is going to start with warm leads. Okay. So write that down in your workbook. And then that will move us to, so what's a warm lead? It's either going to be somebody from your inner circle, write that down, or it may be an ideal client avatar survey. Okay. So it's either going to be someone from your inner circle or an ideal client avatar survey. Those both fall under the warm lead bucket. Okay. Number three, I talked about once you run that ideal client avatar survey, or if you get an introduction from your inner circle, that's when we run the complimentary coaching call. That's when we're going to say, hey, as a thank you for your time, I'd love to offer you a complimentary coaching call. You're going to offer that at the end of the ideal client avatar survey. Schedule that on a separate call. Number four, at the end of the complimentary coaching call, we then are going to pitch your services, right? And that is when this person will, in all likelihood, become a paying client. So this is the funnel that I want to talk about. This is the funnel you're going to be learning this week. And I want you to write that down in your workbook. Write that down in your workbook. Okay, let me read Meredith here. Meredith says, curious. As a leadership and career coach, I want to get surveys with my ICAs within my HR network. They are typically buying coaching for other leaders, not themselves. What's different in the survey when we're in that conversation? Such a good question. So let's see if I can answer this in a way that makes sense. If you are a coach, so there's two different potential ways to sell. B2C, B2B. Business to client. So that's when you sell and the client pays out of pocket. So let's say you're a leadership coach and you work with leaders and the leader pays out of pocket and says, here's my money, right? That's B2C, business to client. The other way is B2B, business to business. And that could be, hey, I'm a leadership coach And I'm going to talk to whoever makes the buying decisions at this company. Maybe it's the HR department, the L&D department, maybe it's the CEO. It depends how big the business is, right? To determine who makes the buying decisions. And B2B, I got to talk to that person because they're the ones that are going to decide to hire me as a leadership coach for their team, for the people at their company. So back to Meredith's question, if I'm a leadership or career coach and I want to get surveys with my ICAs within my HR network, they are typically buying coaching for other leaders. So Meredith, I would recommend the most important ideal client avatar surveys for you to run are going to be with the people, the job titles, the humans who are making the buying decision. So whoever's pulling out the wallet, or in this case, the company budget, those are the people you need to run an ideal client avatar survey with. Because if you build this incredible leadership coaching program and the leaders love it, but it's not in the language for the people at the company who are making the buying decision, and the people at the company who are making the buying decision, they don't understand the ROI, the WIFM, what's in it for them as the company, they're going to pass. Even if the leaders are like, we love this. So my recommendation, Meredith, is to find the people who make the buying decisions, who you would be talking to down the road to pitch your services, and run the ideal client avatar survey with them, right? So you'd say things like, hey, when it comes to the leaders in your company, what is the biggest, most urgent problem that you feel you are facing? Hey, when it comes to the leaders in your company, what is the goal, the outcome, the dream that your company wants to achieve when it comes to your leaders? So I'd run it with the people footing the bill. And bonus points, I would do maybe 3 to 5 of those surveys. And bonus points, I'd do 3 to 5 surveys with the leaders themselves. Because it depends on the company, right? Some companies are just going to say, hey, we the company are making the buying decisions. That's it. Some companies are going to say, no, the leaders who are getting the coaching get to weigh in on this. So it'd be nice to have a sweet spot, right? Where the leaders are like, wow, that sounds amazing. But really, at the end of the day, whoever's making the buying decision, right, needs to be bought in. Last thing I want to say about that, if there's a chance that your clients, let's say the leaders that you potentially might coach, maybe they hear about you and maybe they potentially go back to their organization and pitch like, hey, I just talked to this amazing coach, or I saw this amazing coach online. I would really like to use part of the budget to hire her for me, right? So there's a chance of that too. So bottom line, Meredith, and anybody listening to this, you got to think about who's the one making the buying decision. And sometimes with B2B, it's a group of people, and you need to interview all those people. Great question. I hope that helped. All right, moving on with the workbook. Quick reminder, tomorrow, or I should say Friday. You're welcome, Meredith. Friday, again, we're going to talk about how to turn complimentary coaching calls into paying clients. Really important. All right, let's move on. Where do we find these warm leads? Where do we find these warm leads? Or where do we find people we can run ideal client avatar surveys with? Okay, the first thing I want you to write down, where to find them, is write down your inner circle, your immediate network or community. So as we mentioned previously, so write down inner circle, immediate network or community for number 1. I want you to start there. We talked about this on day 2, probably day 1 as well. Start there. Ask your friends, ask your family, ask your colleagues, ask your neighbors, ask your service providers. Go through your phone contact list. Go through your Facebook friends who you actually know, not the people who you don't know. Go through your LinkedIn connections who you actually know, not the people you don't know. And ask them if they know of anybody who is dealing with the struggles in your area of coaching. Okay, start there. That's the best place to start in finding your people. We talked about this day 1 and 2, right? I gave you guys the script. And again, it sounds something like this. Hey, so-and-so. Hey, neighbor. Hey, hairdresser. Hey, cousin. Hey, colleague. I'm ramping up my coaching business, helping insert your target market to achieve, insert the problem you're helping them overcome or the outcome you're helping them achieve. I'm ramping up my coaching business, helping ABC people achieve XYZ. In researching the type of coaching package I'm building, I got to do some market research with people who fall into this category, learn their challenges and goals. Does this sound like either you or anyone you know? Or you could simply say, do you know anyone who fits the bill? Right? And if so, would you be willing to make an introduction? And you could tell them, this is for a 20-minute informational interview. Where am I here? ICA survey. That's a 20-minute informational interview. You can tell that to your contacts. If they're like, I don't want to make an introduction, you're going to be all salesy. No, it's for a 20-minute informational interview. You can tell them even there's no pitch. It's just an informational interview. And that's the truth. Now, at the end of this survey, you will offer a complimentary coaching call, but the pitch doesn't come until, if they accept the complimentary coaching call, then we move into telling them how you could support them further, right? That the pitch isn't here. Okay. So you're going to ask your inner circle, would you, if you know anybody, and I talked to some of you about this, the more specific you can be with your niche, the easier it's going to be for people to say, oh, I know somebody like that. Oh, you describe my best friend. Oh, you describe my husband, right? The more specific you are, the easier it will be for people to self-identify or to identify this in others. And then you're going to say, hey, would you introduce me to such and such person via email or three-way DM, right? Now, back to page 6, where to find your perfect prospects. Okay. Number two. Yeah, Michael, you booked a call with me. And so anybody that booked a call, once we have our call, which Michael, we did, I'm going to send you that script. And Tabitha, well, actually, here, I'll drop it in real quick as a little reminder here. Here we are. Book a discovery call. Here we are. Michael says, sweet. Yes, sweet indeed. So if you book a call, I send you the whole suite of suite, SUITE, of scripts. Okay. Yeah, I get it. It's hard to type that fast, but I'm also I want you guys to hear how this can sound natural. Okay, so back to page 6. Number two, I want you to write this down. Number 2. Okay, where to find perfect prospects. Use your online network. Write that down. Online network. Use your online network. I'm talking about, you could make a social media post. I've had people find people to run ideal client avatar surveys with. They just make a post on Facebook. Hey, I'm doing a survey on, I'm a career coach. I'm doing a survey on unfulfilled corporate director and VP level women who, want to find a career that is fulfilling. Do you know anybody that can spare 20 minutes? And they'll get like a handful of people saying, yeah, I'll do it. Right? Wayne says, I thought about that. Yeah, absolutely. So you can make a post on whatever platform you use, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Or if you're like, Betty, I can't make a post on LinkedIn, my job, right? You could also direct message. You could send somebody a LinkedIn direct message, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Or you could go to a Facebook group where your ideal client avatars hang out. Now, here's the caveat. If you go to a Facebook group where your ideal client avatars hang out, read the rules of the Facebook group to ensure you can post market research inquiries, because that's what this is. It's a market research inquiry. So make sure, read the rules. I know certain Facebook groups aren't keen on that. If you're not sure, reach out to the Facebook group coordinate, whoever's running the group. Just say, hey, I'm literally doing market research. I'm looking for people to interview. Can I make a post in your group? And I'll tell you guys, you can make a post in my group. If you feel you might find some people in my group, in the big 3,700, people coaching group, build a six-figure coaching business Facebook group, just put market research. Hey, I'm looking for these type of people who can do this with me. Otherwise, find a Facebook group where your people hang out, or any online forum where your people hang out. Okay. I remember when I used to be a career coach. At the time, I was career coaching women executives, and I'm just giving you an example for the career coaches out there. There was an online. It was not Facebook. It was called Fairy God Boss. Fairy God Boss. I assume it's still running today. It's been a hot minute since I've career coached, but that was an online forum. And I could go on there and post and ask questions. And, that's an example. So it doesn't have to always be a Facebook group. Okay. Now, so you go in to the group or your social media. And again, you just emphasize what this is for, market research. There's not a pitch. There isn't. Not yet. This is just the research portion. If you want, you can even say, as a special thank you, for doing 20 minutes of market research, I'm happy to offer a complimentary coaching call on a separate occasion. You can try that. You can test that if you want to put that in the post. It's up to you. Again, use the same script that I just talked about, right? Use the same script. Number three. I want you to write down number 3, alumni. Okay. I think maybe I'll do a little screen share real quick here. I want to give you an example. When I say alumni, it doesn't have to be college alumni, but let me give you a little example here. See if I can share my screen. And let's see if I can make it big. Okay, so here I am on LinkedIn. Maybe, now here's why I'm saying alumni, you guys. When you're trying to conduct market research, what's great is when you have something in common with people, they are more likely to respond to your request. So let me give you an example. I did this when I was career coaching. Okay, I scroll down to my alumni. I went to college at UW-Madison. Where would that be? Here, under education. Okay, so you can either search for your college or you can look under education, and I'm going to click. And not all, but most places where you get education has a school LinkedIn page. So what I might do is click alumni. And then back when, like I said, I was a career coach, I was focusing on corporate director and VP women. So I might type vice president, enter. I'm just giving you an example. And then I might look for, I was working with women. I might look for women who were vice president women. Now, I don't know if they're unfulfilled in their job, right? But I could connect as an example, and I could reach out and say, hey, Carla, I'd love to connect to a fellow Badger, right? At UW-Madison, we were the Badgers. I'd love to connect to a fellow UW-Madison alumni and Badger. And then once she connects, ask her a little bit about what she's working on. And again, and what are you working on? Well, actually, I'm conducting market research, and, I'm actually working with vice president women who are, unfulfilled in their current role, and they're looking for something with more purpose. Is there anyone like that? And either she might say it's me, or she might say, I do know people like that. Right. So by the idea of having something in common, they are more people, this is just human nature. People are more likely to help if you have something in common. So that's why I say, think about alumni. And it doesn't have to be just college. Anywhere where you did some form of training, did some form of schooling, right, is alumni. Okay. And speaking of that, write down number four. your coach certification community, right? I'm talking to a bunch of coaches here. Now, as an example, right? Let's say you're a health coach. Well, coaches are people. There may be a group of us that would like some support with our health, right? So again, you have something in common with your certification group. When you have something in common, people are more likely to lean in and help, right? So if your coach certification has an online forum or a Facebook group or something of that nature, right? Read the rules. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to name any names, but there are certain Facebook groups of coaching certifications that don't like when you post about market research. But, either post in the group or you can just reach back out directly. Think about some of the people you knew when you were getting certified and let them know about your market research and see who do you know? Who do you know that fits into this category? Okay. Number five, write it down. Any organization you're a part of, PTO, PTA, whatever it's called now, parent teacher organization, church, if you're in a meditation group, book club. I know in my neighborhood, there's a ton of neighborhood groups. Think of any organization you're a part of, right? Again, something in common. People are more likely to lean in and support. So again, same exact script. I'm ramping up. You guys will memorize this by the time we're done. I'm ramping up my coaching business. Hey, neighbor in my neighborhood watch group, question for you. This is kind of out of the blue, but I got a question for you. Hey, I'm ramping up my coaching business, helping ABC people do XYZ, and I'm doing some research on the type of coaching package that I want to build. I need to do some market research with people who fall into this particular category to learn what their challenges and goals are. Do you know anyone who fits into this category? Right? Either it's me or I do. Oh, you do? That's amazing. Would you mind connecting me via email to this person? I would be setting up a 20-minute phone call with them. There's no pitch. It's an informational interview. Okay. So again, we're thinking about the more connections you have, the easier you're going to have, right? These are warm leads for people to say, yeah, I'll do an ideal client avatar survey with you. All right. Let's turn to page 7 of your workbook here. Okay. Now, as a reminder here, at the end of each survey, and like I said, I keep saying it, everyone, I've done a lot of calls. If you haven't booked your call yet, you can still book a call. We'll give you all the scripts once we have your call. So patience, let me still go through my list of all the people I've talked to. I'm going to flip that out to you guys in the next day here. After you do an ideal client avatar survey, we're going to say thank you so much for your time today. That was so insightful. As a thank you, I'd love to extend a complimentary 60-minute coaching session to you on the topic of your choice. We could cover topics such as, and then you're going to customize what you say based on what they just told you they were struggling with. And why are we doing that? Because then they can immediately see the value of what a complimentary coaching. When you just tell a civilian, hey, want a complimentary coaching call? They're like, huh? Right? For them to see the value, we put it in their language. You just told me you were struggling with ABC. Let's pick one of those topics and do a complimentary coaching call on it. Saliana says, love it. Good. Right? And then again, would you like to set this up? If so, I've got this and this day and time free. And then you're going to immediately schedule the complimentary session before you get off the call. All right. Wayne says, could an open ICA survey help one to choose a niche based on the research? It could, Wayne. It could. So meaning, I think, again, what Wayne's saying here is if he doesn't go into the surveys with, here's what I would say, I guess, Wayne, 2 things. I think coming out of your ideal client avatar surveys, you will have a better idea of where you want to coach. I do think that's true. I think what will be even more helpful is the actual complimentary coaching call because you're actually experiencing that coaching on that topic. And you'll get off the call feeling either invigorated, like, whoa, that felt good, or you're going to feel drained. Ooh, that topic. Ooh. So I think the actual coaching call itself is going to give you a little bit more insight. So again, we're in testing mode here. We're in testing mode. The only thing about going into ICA surveys like general, hey, coach you on any topic, on anything, just see how it feels, Wayne. If you're able to get people to do that with you, great. Sometimes it can be challenging to come in generally and just say, hey, any challenge, any problem. It's harder to get people to raise their hand because they're kind of like, well, I don't know where to start, right? But I also know from talking to you, Wayne, you've got a lot of people who already come to you for things. So it's worth testing. I would say in general, when you guys start your ideal client avatar surveys, in general for you guys, I'd pick an umbrella topic. And I talked about those, I think day 2, probably day 1. So the umbrella topic is, again, leadership, health, business, relationship. You pick when it comes to, because if I was to ask somebody, hey, what are the urgent problems that keep you up at night? You'd be like, girl, where do I start? Okay, my husband's doing this. I don't have enough money for this. My health is this. My dog did this. The kids did this. It gets a little bit like, where are we going with this? So you kind of want to come in with, when it comes to your health, when it comes to, right? But I think just in general, Wayne, if you're still just like, I'm not sure yet, you can use this as part of your testing to identify for yourself where, but I think bottom line is the coaching call itself is going to help you identify what lights me up. What lights me up. But test, test, test. As a business coach, I'm always going to tell you test, test, test. All right, action items on page 7. And stick with me, we got a little bit more to go here. Your first action item is, where is the first place you will search for a warm lead? Where is the first place you will search for a warm lead? That's your first action item. And I double dog dare you to drop into the chat what you think the first place will be. And don't forget after this call to head to the Facebook group and answer the homework thread. But drop into the chat, where do you think the first place is going to be where you go to search for your warm lead? A future action item, so this is on the docket, will be to go there and take action by either posting or DMing at least 3 people. Okay? Really important. You guys are doing amazing tonight. I want you to keep asking questions. Okay, really, really important. Tabitha will continue to gather these questions up so that we have them all together and I can answer them. Great energy from you guys tonight. Great energy from you guys all nights. All nights. Great energy from you guys. Now, I do want to say this, so stay with me here for about 15 more minutes because I'm getting these questions and I do want to answer this question. At this point, we are rapidly coming upon what I would say is a fork in the road with your business, with this workshop even, okay? And here's what I mean. At the end of, I would say, Friday's session, right? If you have gotten everything that you need at this point, so at the end of Friday's session, if you're like, I've got everything that I need when it comes to standing up my coaching business, transitioning from corporate to coach, building a 6-figure coaching business, if you feel like you've got everything you need, go forward, go into the world. I thank you for your time, right? There would be no reason to really stay any longer at that point. I value your time too much. But there are some of you, right, who I've been chatting with, who've been asking me questions, and some of you who maybe I haven't talked to yet, who feel like although you're super fired up after this week about what you learned in this workshop, but you still feel like, listen, I could use some additional support. I could use some additional accountability in standing up my six-figure coaching business. So if you're one of those people who are like, I want the structure, I want the exact blueprint of what works, I want a vetted formula to follow, I want to skip over the expensive trial and error of trying to figure it out on my own, throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? If you're like, I want someone who's been there and done that to show me the ropes, right? If you're at that place of like, I don't want to feel overwhelmed, I want to get down to business, I want to create predictable and repeatable results in attracting clients and bringing in 10K plus months, repeatable, then for those people that are in that headspace, I would say stick around, right? So I've been getting these kind of questions about what does it look like after this workshop? So for those of you who are curious about options, right, we have an amazing resource and opportunity to help you take the work that we started together during this workshop and bring it full circle so you can get amazing results with your coaching business. So lots of you either on calls or I've been getting DMs or emails have literally said, hey, girl, what's your program? How do I work with you guys? Right. And at this point, right, I want to share with you that moment has arrived for you to learn a little bit more about that, what that looks like, and really to start thinking about, right, this is part of your research in business support and not going through this in a bubble. This is part of your research. That moment has arrived for you to make that one empowered decision to what I would kind of say knocks down the remainder of the dominoes in front of you to help make all those things a reality. So with that being said, the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy is open for registration. What I call the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy is essentially a one-stop shop. It's your final destination in standing up your coaching business. Okay, this is your one-stop shop. The opportunity is here. This model that we've built is meant to simplify things, right? That's half the battle, is the shining object syndrome. We are, as I think I spoke to Christine today, right? We talked about the structure. I'm very step-by-step, very structured, right? So, we're here to provide you that step-by-step direction on exactly what to do next to stand up your coaching business. Hey, Allie. Allie says, I recently joined Betty's program. Good to see you here, Allie. Trust me, you'll have no regrets. Allie, that's wonderful of you to chime in. I am immensely inspired by the Academy experiences so far. Thank you, Allie, for sharing that. That means a lot. And yeah, we take this very seriously, right? If you're in it to win it, we are in it to win it. So the link, here's what's next. Here's how you can learn more. There's a link to book a discovery call with me. And during that call, that's where you can learn more about the program. Okay. Tabitha, could you go ahead and drop below? Why don't you drop the landing page that shares all the information about the program? Great. So Tabitha just dropped the landing page that shares all the info about the program. Now, just so you understand, in that link that Tabitha just shared, and we'll go share it in the Facebook streaming as well, there's two things in that link. There's information on the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy, and there's also buttons on the landing page for you to directly book a call with me. And looks like Tabitha also gave the link for you to directly book a call with me. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Meredith says, do you work with those of us who have launched, made expensive mistakes? Hey, understand that. Other academies and services that focus on cold outreach, and want to take this step back to this foundational work. Absolutely. And Meredith, here's what I will say too. There's two types of people that typically come to me with the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy. There's the person that's like, hey, I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. I need to look at my niche. I need to figure that out. Then I need to build my package, etc. There's that person. Then there's people who have, just as you said, Meredith, you've launched, right? And maybe you have been in other programs, and like you said, made those expensive mistakes. I mean, you worded it exactly, right? Focusing on cold outreach, super salesy to people that are like, who are you? Right. And you want to take it back to the foundational work. Absolutely. Right. So I keep the academy fairly, I don't want to say this, it's kind of like a boutique business. I'm not bringing in hundreds of people, like it's not about quantity for me, it's about quality. And there's a reason for that. It's because, for example, for someone like you, Meredith, or anybody else like you, the first thing we would do on a kickoff call is I would audit what you've done so far, right? And we would make some tweaks and pivots. And to your point, most of the times when coaches have already started and gotten so far, it's just what you said, Meredith. It's the foundational stuff that either was skipped over or it didn't land. The messaging didn't land, the niche didn't land, the signature method didn't land, the copy in the website didn't land, something didn't land. And so it was failure to launch. So I absolutely have people that come in that say, we got to take it back. Right. And so, yes, the answer is yes. We customize the experience for everybody. And I work with people in two different types of ways, group or one-on-one. But because I keep our group at a boutique kind of capacity, I do have a capacity level. I am able to hot seat coach everybody on every group call, or I have some people that work with me one-on-one. As a reminder with the discovery call, the link that Tabitha put in about the discovery call, the purpose of that is, I need to learn more about you, your goals, your challenges, answer your questions, because I'm not going to ethically offer a program to you if I don't see that it's a fit. And that's one thing, transparently, I will tell you. And I'll tell you why if I don't feel like it's a fit. Okay. So that's one. Two, you are asking me questions because you want to know if this is a fit, right? So we are kind of exploring that, doing that research together. Okay. We're both doing our research. Now, something special that I want to do only when I run a workshop like this. I haven't done this in 6 months. And I'm just doing less of these now. So this is something pretty special that I'm doing. And I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to see if I can make it bigger. Let's see here. There it is. Make it big. Okay, so we're doing a fast acting bootcamp bonus bundle. I just like that alliteration. So here's how it works. If you end up booking your discovery call, so that's step one, got to book your call. Now, by the way, I have already connected with some of you over the phone, but those calls were more about prepping you for the workshop, making sure you're getting value. If you and I have talked already, but we didn't go through the program, we didn't go through the pricing, we didn't go through the program options, because there are different programs, there are different pricing options, right? Then you need to, if you're interested, you need to reconnect with me. I would, again, click here, book the discovery call, and then we can specifically just take, 15 or so minutes to go through, here are the options program wise, and here are the options pricing wise. So just to be very clear, if I've already connected with you, but we didn't talk about package or pricing, right? If you're interested, then you want to reconnect with me so we can be specifically reviewing that. So here's the bootcamp bonus bundle. If you join the academy by Tuesday, why Tuesday? Because that's the last day of the bootcamp. That's the last day of the workshop, Tuesday, March 18th. You get the fast acting bootcamp bonus bundle. It's $8,000 worth of bonuses up to. Bonus number one is either $1,000 off if you pay in monthly installments, or $3,000 off if you pay in full. Right? Now, again, there's different pricing options. It depends what program that we determine, and I'm happy to make a recommendation that you're a good fit for. And so that's why we need to have the call. Before I throw pricing at you, we need to figure out where do you fit in all of this, okay? But this is bonus number one is the cash bonus. Bonus number two is an exciting one. So this is why I would say, even if you're not sure, even if you're like, I just don't know, I would book the call, because the point of the call is not to feel pressured. The point of the call is to do your research. And bonus number two is the first 5 people who actually get accepted into the academy will receive a private 60-minute deep dive strategy session with me. So this will be highly customized. I will be sending you, if you join the program, a questionnaire. You'll fill it out. I'm going to get really involved with where you're at in your trajectory of building your business, even if you're just starting. And on this call, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. And as I put it, I get all up in your business. So you're going to leave this session with a comprehensive strategy on where to focus first so we can get you to those consecutive 10K plus months. So this is highly customized. And we're going to, instead of me just saying, here's this massive program, I'm going to build you out a specific strategy and say, I want you to focus here first. I think for a lot of you, we'll probably be talking through your niche. We'll probably be landing the plane with your niche and messaging as a part of this call. But this is only going to the first 5 people who join. Okay. So if you're like, not sure, at minimum, book the call. So you're in the running for this. Bonus number 3 is I do a full and customized social media profile audit. Now, why does that matter? You're like, why do I need a social media profile audit? Because your social media profile, whatever it is, if it's Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, it's like a storefront. It's its own version of a website. So if you're messaging somebody, what's the first thing they do? They click on your profile. So I am going to optimize it. I'm going to audit it so that, and that's another problem that could be happening for those of you who are already out there running your business. If your profile is not optimized, you're falling flat. Side note, if you're in a corporate job and you're thinking, well, I can't do that because on LinkedIn, right, I'm going to have an issue with my corporate job. There are ways to work around that, right? Most of my clients are in a corporate job. So if you can't be all over the place on LinkedIn, we talk about what I call the backdoor strategy. Okay. But that's bonus number 3, profile audit. Bonus number 4, I think, is a lot of fun. I don't know if any of you have heard of Voxer. Put into the chat if you've ever heard of Voxer before. It's an app. I call it the walkie-talkie app. It's a free app. And you would get 30-day Voxer access to me. So if you've ever joined a program and you feel like lost in the sauce and you're like, where's that coach? Where is that coach that, I was supposed to be working with? You're going to have 30-day access to me via Voxer. We'll be able to go back and forth. You can leave me audios. Hey, Betty, I feel stuck. Help me here. Or you can type whatever. And that's valued at $2K. And then bonus 5, we're going to do a half-a-day live cash injection workshop. Okay. And that one, we're going to build upon what you learned in the workshop. Okay. We're going to build upon that half-a-day live cash injection workshop so you can get a fast ROI. That's the name of the game, right? This is an investment with an ROI. So this is your bonus bundle worth up to $8,000 if you join by Tuesday. That's the caveat. That's why I call it a boot camp bonus bundle. It's only for those who join by Tuesday. Now, the program itself, okay, this is my website. Back when I had my long hair, need new pictures. Services. Okay, so here's the program. Here's the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy. This is a 1-year business incubator. And I want to be very clear. This is not a digital course. This is not a quickie 90-day whatever. We are building a business, not just a business from scratch, a sustainable business with a strong foundation. We're not just, I picked my niche and I built a website. We're building systems. We're putting them in place so that you have predictable, repeatable months of hitting your profits. Okay? Very important. I'm going to be mentoring you for the entire year. I'm not going to be just teaching you and then pushing you off the nest, right? I want you to be with me long enough to be trying and implementing the things I'm teaching you so I can be giving you guidance as we go. You can work with me either one-on-one, and we would meet 3 times a month for an entire year. Each session's about an hour, okay? Or you could work with me in the group. The group, we meet 3 times a month for the entire year. We take 1 week a month to implement, okay? If you choose one-on-one, you do get 2 for the price of 1, meaning you get access to both one-on-one coaching and the group. You can join the group at any time. So I have some one-on-one clients that will get that private sessions with me, and then they'll hop on group calls as well. So what is included in the academy? First is the human component. I call this the success squad. So it's not just, I hired a business coach. And I will tell you this, no one person has all the answers. Please don't believe that. If you see any of the wild marketing that's out there sometimes about, oh, it's only this way. It's, I've got all the answers. That's not the way it is. Just like a corporation would have a board of directors, you too need a board of directors. Okay. This is your success squad. Yes, I am your business coach, right? I've got my business and marketing and copy and messaging expertise, right? I'm holding you by the hand. I'm a hot seat coaching you every week. You are also assigned your own personal success coach in addition to working with me. Why? I have built out a 30-day goal template that your success coach will work through with you. So this is important so that you're hitting your milestones. I think when people join a program, it's easy to get lost in the sauce. Your success coach will make sure you're hitting your milestones to the point where you're even breaking apart. Here's what we're going to achieve this month. And now let's break apart how to implement it week by week. Okay, that's the level of detail you'll get through with your success coach. We do have, for those of you from IPEC, an IPEC certified coach. Both are graduates from my academy. And they will be there not only to help you get out of your own way, but also to hold you accountable to implementing. Really important. I say it again and again. You need the layer of accountability. Okay, important. We have a peer accountability pod. So when you join this program, there is a mastermind of coaches, right? And you also have the option to join a smaller peer accountability pod. It's maybe about 4 of the academy members that you can meet with on a regular basis. And again, I have a very written out script agenda of what you do during these peer meetings, peer pods. It's meant to deepen your mastery of business concepts. So it's one thing for me to teach, a hot seat coach. And then you get on these peer conversations, and you guys, I have structured questions for you to round robin in order to deepen your mastery of the business concepts I've taught. And yet again, another layer of accountability. Another layer of accountability. I'm telling you guys, if you've struggled, if you joined a program in the past and you're like, I didn't get anywhere, did they have a layer of that accountability? I myself need layers of accountability in my own business. It's a human thing. Last but not least, you will be invited to our upcoming in-person event in Tampa, Florida. Actually, I should change this. I'm holding it in St. Pete, but it's in the Tampa, Florida area. And this is included in your academy membership. It's going to be part networking with fellow members of the academy, part learning, and then in-person hot seat coaching from me. So this is going to be a great event. Okay, so here's your squad, your people squad. The next part is the stuff, right? Here's the tools, the deliverables. This is what I call your 6-figure coaching business in a box. Your business in a box. Why reinvent the wheel? Why build things from scratch? Why hire 20 different people to create 20 different things? We have created a business in a box. So what does that mean? You have immediate access to an on-demand learning center. So I have 5 different modules I teach. Every module has learning videos, supplementary worksheets, and more. This is optional, but I have partnered with an incredibly skilled web designer. And together we have created what I think is the ultimate website, designed to get emails, designed to get calls booked, and designed to be an elevated, branded storefront for you. Okay. We partner together on this. What's beautiful about this is it is a template. And I will give you scripts and copy. We will customize that to your niche. And then it's a plug and play. We'll pick your brand colors, photography, et cetera. I'm not going to get into the weeds here, but this is optional, right? You can decide whether you want to add this onto your package or not. Again, I can answer more questions on that if you have it. I won't go through everything here, but this is just a bite of, some of the tools that if you weren't working in a program like this, you'd have to go out and either create for yourself. It's either going to be time or money. Either you're going to have to create these tools yourself and spend the time, or you're going to have to go pay somebody to do it for you. It's one or the other. And so the idea of this program, when I say it's, a one-stop shop, if it's something you have to create, we've already created it, right? My background is in corporate communications over a decade. I'm all about copy and marketing and messaging, right? So I have already created all these templates, right? And we'll do a plug and play and customize it to your niche. All right. This is in your business in a box. We talked about the 2 ways to work with me. Really important for you to know. There is unlimited access to me and my team in between coaching sessions. And I encourage, sometimes I beg for my clients to get a hold of me in between sessions. Why? Because that's where the magic happens. That's where the magic happens. It's in between sessions. So I don't ever want my clients feeling locked or stuck, right? We give you access to us in between sessions. What makes us different? Again, I'll kind of let you guys go through this on your own. There's, 6 different key points here. I think the main one that I want to point out, we talked about the accountability piece. We talked about my background, in corporate communications. I will say this about my background, just so you understand how it is relevant. Being in corporate communications at different Fortune 500s, I am very well versed on exactly what it takes to create compelling and engaging content that will inspire a consumer to act, to take action. And honestly, that is exactly what it takes to build a virtual 6-figure coaching business, right? That's what it takes. What can I put out there into the universe to inspire my perfect people to take action? That's what you'll learn in my program. The other thing I want to call out about what, part of what makes us different, this is important for you to understand. I call it ditching the hustle. Okay. This is important. What we teach and how we teach. Again, most of my clients are coming in and they're slammed. They're busy. They've got corporate jobs or they've got kids or they're still even getting certified. So I don't want you to run into burnout. So what I teach you, this is a win-win for those of you from IPAC. This is, a level 5 kind of idea here. You're going to learn how to create a high ticket coaching package. Okay. Now, let me explain what that means. I want you to be able to sell 1 to 2 packages per month to hit your monthly financial target. And I'm going to teach you how to do that versus what I see some coaches doing. And it's not your fault. This is what you've been taught. Getting caught in that exhausting hustle of selling one-off, lower ticket coaching sessions where it's like, or digital courses where you've got to sell like 6, 7, whatever per month to hit a financial target. How do you replace your corporate income that way? Right? So here's the deal. It's better for you because we're looking at quality over quantity. And here's how it's going to impact the client, right? We're not just slapping a price ticket on something and saying, oh, there we go, price ticket. When you create something that's at a higher price ticket, the value has to go right along with it. So part of what I'm going to help you do is create enough value that the value is just about double the actual price of the package. So that then when you're talking to somebody, they say, okay, I see it's an investment, but I also see the value, right? So this is part of my specialty. Is helping you create a valuable, not just slapping on a price ticket. It's about how do I create a valuable coaching package and relay that value to my prospective clients. My methodology, and we'll go over more of this later. I call it the 5 C's. It's the 5 C's. Part one, choose the right niche. So if you're in this program and you're like, oh, I can't join, I don't have a niche. Yeah, that's why you need to join, right? That's part one. And it's not just, oh, yeah, I'm a leadership coach. Oh, I'm a career coach. We need to make sure your market research is validated. When you're done with your market research, I use something called an ideal client avatar trend worksheet, where we pull together the golden thread and the trends that we're seeing with the answers that you're getting from your market. Okay. So we're looking for trends. I'm going to help you land the plane on your messaging so it resonates with your ideal client. If your messaging doesn't resonate, I don't care how good of a coach you are, which is not great. I see amazing coaches out there that aren't getting clients because their messaging is off. So this is what I'm good at. Messaging. We're going to tighten up your messaging so it resonates with your ideal client. And then positioning, right? I've created something called a competition matrix. And we're going to use that to strategically position you in the market. So essentially, you're a category of one. So it's like, oh, there's all these other fill in the blank, leadership coaches, career coaches, health coaches. But again, just like I have, let's, back up here. What makes my program different from the rest? We're going to create that for you. Okay. What's your unique value proposition? So positioning, niche messaging positioning. Part two is your package. Let me tell you, saying, oh yeah, I have 10 sessions. That's my coaching package. That's not a package, right? Creating a package means, again, just like I have a signature method, this is my signature method, we need to create your signature method. So I'm going to help you do that. Create your signature method in the words of your ideal client avatars. It has to be in language they understand. So we're going to create your signature method. We're going to put in enough value that the pricing makes sense. Signature method, deliverables and value so that the pricing makes sense. That's part two. Part three is the actual launch of your brand. So yes, that includes the website. And then it includes two other things you need to be aware of. The back-end systems. Okay. We're going to talk through what systems do you need on the back end to run your business. We're going to make sure those systems are talking to each other so that you don't have to do all this manual work on the back end. The systems need to be talking to each other. Okay. That's part of it. Part of it is the launch of your website. And let me be really clear, because this is another thing I've seen that hurts my heart. People will spend all this time or money on their website. They will publish it on Facebook and say, I've launched. I've done the thing. And they'll get like 50 likes and, people messaging them, friends and family. And then the next day, what happens? You ever see this? It's crickets. And why does that happen? Well, from a communication perspective, my background is because there was not a brand launch communication strategy, right? This is what I did in my corporate job for over a decade. When we launched a new initiative, there was a strategic communication strategy to go with that launch. So as it should be with your business, we got to start treating your business like it is already a 6, 7, 8-figure business. Okay. We want to get your audience as excited about the launch as you are. So by the time you launch, people are already raising their hands. All right. This is part three. Part four, the meat and potatoes of where we're going to spend our time after the launch, is the client attraction system. Now, you guys are getting a little head start, right? With the 3-step client acquisition system. We're going to take that to the next level, right? This is taking that to the next level. This is creating a system. And just like the back end system, we need to create a front end system. So if you're on, getting to your desk on a Tuesday, you're like, what do I do today to get clients? You're throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's a fail, right? That's not going to be effective. It needs to be a sustainable, proven system to acquire clients. And there are various components to that system. And I think that can be a blessing and a curse when it comes to client attraction. There are so many ways to attract clients that we almost can get overwhelmed and lost in the sauce. So in this program, we're going to get very specific. We're going to build the machine, right? So that it's running. Good news is there's part of this machine you can automate, you can delegate, You can outsource, and then there's some parts you have to do yourself. Okay. But the client attraction system, the machine, this is something that has to be up and running. I will also say this, there are certain metrics when it comes to client attraction. There are certain metrics that you have to hit in order to make your sales. And I would tell you, even coaches that have been doing this for years, sometimes I'll talk to them and ask them about their metrics, and they don't even, it's like I'm speaking another language. If you don't know, now, most of you guys are just kicking off. So, of course, you don't know this yet. You don't know what you don't know. But it's important when you join a business program that there are metrics attached to results. Because if you're coming to me and saying, Betty, I've been doing this stuff and I'm not getting clients, I need to be able to, I have a full-on spreadsheet of metrics that you'll be tracking when you get to this section, right? It'll be easy for both of us to see immediately, why aren't we getting clients? What's off? What's off? Okay. So the metrics is going to be a big piece of this. And last but not least, closing the deal. And here's what I'll say. This is the sales piece, right? I do not believe in pushy, icky, awkward, salesy. Like, that's a nightmare to me. That's not why we became coaches. But yet, on the other hand, if you don't allow yourself to share your offering, you're doing a disservice to the people who need you, right? So it is important that you get comfortable with the sales process. It is important that you learn the script. There is a script that I will provide you, and we'll customize it. You're not going to be a robot, just reading off a script. But it's important that you get comfortable with this process. It's important that when you get a call booked, you're not dreading it, that you're excited about it. And at the end of the day, this process is about helping to educate potential clients on making their decision. It's not about pushing people to make, it's about educating them to make a decision. It's about coaching them to a yes or a no, right? The gray area is what doesn't serve anybody. So you're helping people, right? Choose their choice. So you're really gonna, right? This is gonna be this isn't a one and done. This is something you're gonna say, Betty, I've got a call booked. We're gonna prep you. We're gonna do some role playing, right? You're gonna have the call. You're gonna come back. Oh, the person said this. What do I do? Right? We'll be hitting that up again and again. Before we head off here, people have been asking, okay, well, what kind of niches, however you say the word, do you work with? I honestly feel like I've worked with just about every niche under the sun. This is just a sampling. I have to even update my website on new testimonials. We have imposter syndrome coaches. So Lori, at this point, she was at 35K in 3 months. I think the last time I talked to her, she was at 45K in 4 months. So she's killing it out there. Imposter syndrome coach. Shanna, talk about an interesting niche. Performance mindset coach for student athletes. She sold a 55K coaching contract on her way out of the program. I was like, yes, you go. And she's still killing it. Petra is a startup leadership coach. She's a leadership coach for startups. While in the program, she made a 24K sale. She's definitely back-to-back 10K months. Bethany, I'm actually going to be bringing Bethany on tomorrow for you guys to ask her questions, for you guys to ask her. And let me say this real quick. It's really important that you're not just hearing from me, XYZ, but you're hearing from coaches who have done the thing. So tomorrow we're going to bring in Bethany, and you guys are going to be able to ask her any questions you want, because she's super successful in her space, and she'll be sharing some of her journey, and you guys will have the chance. I'll interview her, but you'll have the chance to ask her, how she's achieving what she's achieving. And she's gone far beyond back-to-back 14K months at this point. Executive burnout coach. Again, work-life integration coach. We've got leadership coaches, career coaches, career coach. We've got this is an interesting one, Jacqueline, relationship coach. And her specific form of relationship coaching, she does it in a spiritual modality. So she's kind of combined spirituality and relationship coaching. Wayne, we kind of touched on that before when we were talking about this. So Jacqueline actually took my boot camp. She invoiced $13,500 after the boot camp alone, and then joined the program and just was killing it. So, anyways, there's all different kinds of niches that I work with. Meredith, it is a WordPress platform, and I can answer any other questions that you have on the website. And the website is optional. You know, whether or not you guys, you can, it's an add-on. You can decide whether or not you want to add that on. Okay, so I hope that was super valuable for you guys in terms of understanding, you know, what's included in the program. It's important that if, you know, you want to do your research, Tabitha, if you could just one more time before I announce the winner of tonight's gift card, and then we'll hop off the call, drop in the links for people to check out the Academy. And if you want, you can go directly to booking the discovery call with me. And then at that point, right, I can figure out where are you in your trajectory? What are your challenges? What are your goals? And if I've already had a call with you, but we didn't talk about the packages and the pricing, do come back and let's take 15 minutes to go through that so you can make your own decision, right? All right. So that's what I have for you. Consider the possibility of what's on the other side of the decision to book a discovery call and joining our academy. We're waiting for you with open arms. If you're watching this and you feel it in your gut, you feel it in your heart, that's your sign. This is your moment. All right. You're no longer in this alone. We got you. We're here to believe in you, to cheer you on, and to kick your butt in a good way. To kick, if there is such a way, kick your butt in a good way. Once you're part of our family, we do not give up on you. We will get you to the finish line. Okay. My invitation to you is to make that one empowered decision that will change your life. And I'm not being dramatic. It's the truth, right? You book that call, you get into the program, you do the work, your life is changed. All right. All right. So let's announce the winner of tonight's, I'm going to do an Amazon gift card tonight, $25 Amazon gift card. To be eligible, you have to show up live. You have to participate in the live stream. And our winner for tonight, one of these days I will get a drum roll. Our winner for tonight is Christine Olson. What's up, Christine? Christine Olson's the winner of our Amazon $25 gift card. I will be sending that over to you via either email or telephone. I'll be sending that over to you. And great job on your participation. So again, for you guys to receive the next gift card, do make sure you show up live. Do make sure you go over and participate in the homework thread in the Facebook group. All right. So tomorrow, big day tomorrow, we are going to be interviewing Bethany. Bethany is going to be sharing behind the scenes. What is she actually doing? What did it actually take to get? It's one thing for me to, you know, walk you through the steps. It's another thing for you to hear a coach who's doing the work. Okay. So come with questions or just come to hear her journey. Just come to hear her journey. And, you know, I'll be asking her questions that will kind of help you get behind the curtain, behind the Wizard of Oz curtain. All right, y'all. I'm excited to connect with you over our calls coming up here. Remember, only the first 5 people get that bonus, that extra bonus of the full 1-hour strategy session with me. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I will catch you on the flip side. I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll be interviewing a coach who is killing it out there and really getting behind the truth of what it takes to make those results. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for being here. See you guys tomorrow. Bye now.